Hi. That's it, no intro. Anyway, let's read this story. This is from Reddit user PrestigiousFinger86. You know the one. This is The Queen of Foxes. Epilogue. The Facebookening. I don't know why I said it like that, but that's the title now. Anyway. Dear friends and fellow members of the Celestial Herd, and of course, the unicorn on the moon himself, Moonhorse. That's me. I hope one day he will confirm if the moon is indeed made of cheese or not, but maybe that's just what space unicorns eat, and it's an ideal place for moon horses. It's a rock. It's a big-ass rock. I know, it's not nearly as fun. Well, it is here. The final installment of The Queen of Foxes. The inevitable trash fire that this all became. And it all happens a la Facebook. Because, of course, why wouldn't it? Isn't it always the way with fucking Facebook? The only time I heard of Lily in the most recent years come via ambiguous and not-so-ambiguous posts on Facebook, mostly consisting of her not learning that actions have consequences, and being an adult means you have adult responsibilities, like having a job, and you can't expect the sun to rise and set for you because you have mental health issues, real or imagined, in Lily's case, or anything else for that matter. Oh, she sounds fun. That being said, as I have looked back on some of these posts, I have to admit something in my heart did genuinely begin to find some compassion. What yawning need for care and attention was left so unfulfilled in her life that, like a child, she decided that negative attention was better than none. Going even to the point that she even drove herself nuts to keep up with the image she was putting out to the world, or give her a reason to behave the way she did, or both. Self-help charlatans tell you to manifest what you want. So in Lily's case, I guess that worked, and it all ended with a very sad, desperate individual that talked herself into these disorders that she tried so hard to copy. In short, as I look back on the past, I couldn't bring myself to feel any more anger or disdain for Lily, just plain pity, because it'd be like being angry at a toddler that lashes out for attention. She's someone who never really learned anything, having kept herself stuck in the mindset of a perpetual angsty teenager. Lily is just a child that has gotten old. Yeah, I know that type of person well. A lot of neckbeards we talk about have become exactly that. Woof. Now with that bit of philosophy over, it's time for the cringe we all came for. These are a series of Facebook posts and messages that I will give context to as needed. There is a shit ton of them, so I had to narrow them down to best of, or as this post will become novel length. These are all public posts as well, so it's not like she was exactly trying to keep anything to herself or just between people. And if they sound disjointed, you would be right because of the weird stream of consciousness way she would post. Like she was crawling out of the darkness to let herself loose on a keyboard when she couldn't have a tantrum anywhere else and feed on any drama or attention it could drum up. I guess being a conduit for Lilith the vampire demon means that one needs their daily dose of drama or clamato juice. To start with, at the time of these posts, Lily was trying very hard to be a model. These were the days before Instagram, in case there are any youngsters in the crowd wondering why she didn't just go to Instagram or the OnlyFans route. That is indeed where and when she proclaimed herself the Queen of Foxes on her modeling page on Facebook because of her red hair and the fox ears she would wear in as nude as Facebook would allow photos. Oh, classy. To be frank, a lot of these photos had more in common with amateur porn and maybe goth aesthetic pinup magazines, but she always insisted it was for, quote, creative and artistic purposes. Because pornography and other sex work is, quote, degrading to women and anti-feminist. This coming from someone who made such wild assault allegations truly makes me wonder if she has some kind of non-con kink that she's ashamed to admit to herself. Also at this time, Lily was entering her mid-20s and had a long-term boyfriend, Gene, who she was living with. Whether she loved and adored him because he took such good care of her, or hated because he was trying to kill her, and yes, she would say stuff like this seriously, depended on her mood. By the way, the formatting on each paragraph is subsequent post. Oh, okay, so these are all different posts. I want to tear my reflection apart. Her looks and weaknesses are an insult to who I am. I can't help myself. Life hasn't given me a reason to move on. It's a fucking nightmare. To live somewhere else and find a place welcoming and there for each other. I would do anything to have an agency and be out of here for good. ASAP. Anything! I'm trying to read these as dramatically as possible, because that's the voice that I imagine she wrote these in. And, much like I'm sure Prestigious Finger would say, an agency to get out of here, I'll do anything as possible. Okay? So why not work? I did it all. My hope is dry, and now I sleep all day, and honestly lost purpose in life. Same spot for a year, sleeping more than 15 hours a day. Jean makes sure I eat and take my pills. I gave up on humanity, and I'd like to go now. I cannot work with my anxiety. Jean feels that it's a bad idea right now, especially when I went into panic and stress a week ago. I hate my life and my body. I don't want it if I cannot put it to use. Please help convince my mom to let me come home. I want a normal life, college, and a job, and money I made so I can love myself again instead of going insane. She says she is scared of me, but yet won't let me help her understand her daughter's mental illness. Isn't this the same mom that she assaulted? Maybe I'm thinking out loud. No, I do not have feelings for Jean anymore. I just want out of this hellhole and back into the life I battled for my whole. Jean doesn't need this. We are two different people. He settles for less. I want bigger things. He is crying and I am crying, and I just want my mom to finish raising me. Reminder, she was in her mid-20s at this point. I want to be high class more than anything, and live alone and in love with myself. Sometimes the hand life deals you fucking sucks, bro, but you gotta learn how to work through it. Expecting your parents to finish raising you, quote unquote, it's a little weird. Convince my mother to let me come home so she can finish raising me into adulthood and stop fearing my anxiety attacks. I want work, not a frickin' rotting trailer. So then go to work. I don't understand what's stopping you. Please just don't talk to me unless you are willing to truly help me out by getting me into an agency, or my 3 pieces of clothes are back on my body. The fuck you talking about? What? Sorry I asked for help, no one shows up. 1 sentence. Fuck's sake. I am stuck here. I'll never be out of this place. I'd do anything right now to be offered a better living and a career. Except for actually looking or working for something better, of course. Oh, of course. Then, literally the next day, Jean is home, cuddled and relaxed. Now out for a small morning ride to the trash disposal place. Beautiful out. 1 more week of Jean working out the house. Then he will be back home, and mood shall be a lot better. He's the sunshine I need to wake up to. Didn't she just try to leave this man? Like, what the fuck is going on in this trailer? Okay. Some interesting ones were her work prospects, modeling or otherwise. She was oddly specific about what jobs she would take for someone that needed the work so desperately. I want a job, but I don't know where to apply. Nothing like a big chain store. Small shops, even mall shops, stuff like that. Ideas, please. Even a stripper club if I can get beginner lessons. This from her when she said that porn and sex work was degrading to women. I need help, hiring or not. When I find the one I admire the most, I don't stop pressing for it. I do have to agree with Prestigious Finger there. If this is all bad, why is it the thing you want to do? Like, I have so many questions and no answers. I'm leaning towards industrial stripper. Use the industrial dance and goth video chants, but again, I need help. I legit thought when she said industrial stripper, it was like an industry job. Like you're working at a plant and you're removing like layers of paint or something from like a machine. She just means like a stripper who's industrial. Is he like a fucking robot or what? I need help. I am clueless. The post doesn't stop there. I just really wanted to let that sink in. I need job ideas and give me ideas of the places. I don't care if they are hiring or not. I want to know some jobs that will work great for my personality / career talents here. Plus, people talk. And I don't want to walk into a business where I'm going to have to battle rumors. My career talents I admire. Number 1, always cheerful and making sure the person I meet leaves happy unless they catch me off guard with my social anxiety crying, and they still leave happy. So they leave happy and you didn't even need to include the rest of that sentence. Cool. Number 2, I love to dress up for my job. Give me a uniform and I class it up to relaxing it down. Willing to wear uniform. Cool. Number 3, I love music of all kinds and the style you play I am very sensitive to and will give similar vibes. This is like early 2000s chat room energy. I love all music. All music. I love it all. It's good to know your personality exists, I guess. Number 4, I keep it private to keep my work face. I have no idea what that means. Number 5, while in conversation, I try to ask the customer about thing I discover through listening or noticing items on them. I need a job. I am ready. Work makes the woman in me. She is ready. I'm just getting flashbacks to when I had to read 50 Shades for this channel. It's just the inner goddess is pirouetting and shit. Since I am not pretty enough to be in an modeling agency, I told Gene he's going to have to deal with my obsession of piercings. I will probably be doing most of these at home the old-fashioned way with a safety pin and a potato due to pieces. But hell, if I am truly not good enough for an agency, I am falling on plan B, and no, I will not be a model for people! That's written in all caps, so I imagine it was really angry. This is art for myself, and I gave people chances. Which is sad, because now we have a vehicle, and would accept payments for gas and drive to large areas of exceptional photographers. Ah yes, the photographer fields. I've been there many times. I got a sick stomach and failed to my first application. At the mall now. God help me. Having a panic attack at the mall, application collecting, has my stomach in knots, and stomach crying got relief. I cannot breathe. I should have never listed the places I wanted to work. Some asshole probably had the balls to ruin this part of my life, too. For Christ's sake, Gene is getting my not able to work anger. It's pissing me off. People rather work against me rather than help me and work on life with Gene. One sentence. Impressive. Fuck the maggot who wants to see me homeless. I will find you. I cannot do this alone. I need someone to hold my hand until I become bolder and more understanding. I cannot handle the stress while doing this. I removed myself from my family to get away from the center of these conflicts, and yet my mom keeps calling the cops on me. I have no idea why, but I think it was a wellness check. I just want to be a model. I am really dedicated. I am a really super shy hermit with a bad phobia of human beings. I can see how that would totally work towards a modeling career. Well, with, needing to be around a lot of people and watched by them. I just don't want my dream of being this generation's Marilyn Monroe to be taken for granted. It's good to know you got some humility. Thus, the struggles. Please forgive me for hurting you through jealousy or behaviors that scare me. It's new, and I can probably only understand what little I can get is not good for anybody. Hey, you. Yeah, you listening to this. You like to read things, don't you? Of course you do. You listen to this channel, which is all about reading. Well, it's actually about listening to things, but you know what I mean. If you want to read things, as in any kind of book, all the books, at the same time, not at the same time. That would be weird. You can do that by going to this wonderful sponsor. Who is this wonderful sponsor who has all of the books you could ever want and more? Well, it's bookshop.org. Yes, indeed. They sell every kind of book you could want. They have all of them. I don't have a specific example, but bookshop.org is a fantastic resource to get all of the kind of books that you are looking for, and you don't have to deal with Amazon, which is a plus. Bookshop.org connects independent booksellers from all over the world. It allows you to buy from people who actually would benefit, rather than some stupid, faceless corporation that likes to build rocket ships that kind of look like dicks. You know the one. Also, every purchase from bookshop.org helps support independent bookstores. That's right. Every time you buy something you want, and don't have to give your money to some dingbat on the internet, you know the one, you get to help out independent bookstores. You are helping people while getting what you want. It's hard to say no to that. And if you really want to do that, find out some weird stuff that your favorite space uncle might be reading right now, which is a nice way of saying, yes, I am. You can do that by going to my affiliate link, which is bookshop.org/shop/Moonhorse. Everything on that list are books that I've read or will be reading, and might be coming up in some stuff that maybe you ought to know about. Maybe you ought to check those out. Either way, check it out. Bookshop.org/shop/Moonhorse. Go there. Find something to read, why don't you? Make your life better. Believe it or not, these are some of her more sensical ramblings. Most of her Facebook posts were more like a stream of consciousness insanity blog, just without the talent of Virginia Woolf. Though I'm sure she felt it was because she superseded Miss Woolf in the talent department. Again, just going for a few of the greatest hits, and I'm not taking any of these out of context. They really were just this erratic and had all the subtlety of a 2-year-old throwing themselves on the floor and flailing like a landed flounder. You have such a way with words. I wish I knew how to have a better financial life with the curses I was born with. Beauty is all I have, and there is not a lot I can do with that. This is all reminding me of something, and I'm going to get to it, I'm sure. Beauty, brains, and health. I rather exchange my beauty for health. No use having it if it cannot be used for fame. Like me waiting on Gene to cut his hair, I am waiting to cut mine like my mom in the early 2000s and color it brown. People will lesser expectations of me and the jealousy of people not knowing me, but my looks will stop. I have no idea what that means. If you send me an invite or want to hang out, please send a PM to Gene. I am awake an average of 5 hours a day and rarely get up after my dream of modeling has been destroyed. I don't need 24-hour notice. I'm ready to hang out with someone as soon as I get the word. But you have to have someone manage the appointments for you. That's okay. I haven't been invited to anything. Again. I don't want to watch TV or play games. I miss the old-fashioned fun and talking. It's a little sad. Yeah, I could definitely see where a lot of this is going. Take my threats seriously. We live in a society, bottom text. Oh, to those thinking I hide behind pills, I do. But that side of me is just surfacing the top lightly. What? Let us all learn what a true PTSD person is really capable of now that I don't have the chemicals help balance out my mind. Get ready, summertime. Shit's hitting the fan. I'll do things the only way I know how, and ungrateful people who can visit help me out by understanding my dream in person and even practicing with me really will have a surprise. How do you... I thought you wanted to be a model. How do you practice being a model? I don't understand. Are you proud you're making my life hard? People want me to recover, but cannot pull together to help someone deeply hurt. Fuck you too. Stay silent. I hope my future is as bad as you want it so you can see I shatter more. I am available to do things if people help me out by working together, modeling, job, anything. I want to model, but people cannot seem to get. I am slow, and Jean is my protection and comfort until I understand it better. Fuck everyone not helping me get into a sideshow, too. A sideshow? I need a job. Get off your asses and help me. Get off your ass and apply. Just saying. I am so frackin' terrifying. Do not hang out with me. I am bad news. If you treat me like shit, I will stand my ground. Oh, noes. So bad. So naughty. And not talking things through to figure out motives should be the only option when dealing with me. I am not at all intelligent. It's not the end of the post. I just really wanted to let that sink in. So just cast stones. Everyone believes beautiful people are illiterate, selfish, tau-faced whores. Had to read that twice. Never give them a chance. They can handle it. The world gives it to them and they know how to use you for it. The most beautiful souls are the ones drowning beneath a frozen heart. That the bitter and ugly souls casted onto them through hate. Once we were gentle as a feather, falling to the still glass-like top of the water. Now we just sink.
New donation from Gant_chart5 Hey Mooney. Update. A fox knocked on my window. They told me they don't claim the Queen of Foxes as their queen or even a fox. At least that's what I heard. That or a random fox just screeched outside my front porch. Point stands.
Good to know. I like that. That is where, sadly, I unfriended her and haven't seen her Facebook profile in a while. And while I was going to end it there and type out my parting thoughts with my usual sparkling wit, which could never have held a candle to Lily's emo slam poetry, I'm sure, but my curiosity, combined with maybe a streak of masochism, got the better of me, and Lily's profile is public, and I scrolled to my heart's content. It would seem that Lily did learn something about using Facebook for virtual tantrums and meltdowns in recent years and has kept to just spamming memes and the occasional post about bipolar disorder. The mountains of madness have many little plateau of sanity, it seems. But old habits die hard, and I saw she made a, quote, call-out post about someone in the local metal and punk scene. Okay, so I hate writing statuses like this. It really sucks when a good friend of ours comes to R in worry because some guy I was supposed to do black metal project with decides to tell our close unnamed friend of ours that he is going to... I can't say that word on YouTube, but let's just say it starts with an R and it's not good. That if his wife wasn't in the room, him and his friends were going to R at some party. R, I chose that badly because there's actually just a guy called R here, and I went to previously. We have one witness who doesn't deserve the drama to come, so they will remain unnamed. We have a screenshot of the witness opening up about what he was told. This threat was made 3-ish years ago. I've been afraid since then. I literally missed out on band opportunities because I'm afraid this guy would be around. I'm not hiding anymore. Joke or no joke, it's not funny. I lost my virginity to assault when I was 14. That's fucked. I will never get that back. Jokes like this are harmful and should not even be thought. Screenshots of this quote-unquote confession was the friend telling her boyfriend a joke that was made at a party that all of them were at. They were giggling about Lily being hot and how, quote, if my girlfriend wasn't here, we would be gang assaulting her right. Jesus, fuck, that's not funny. These jokes are disgusting, and the perpetual our culture that such jokes continue is one thing she got right in all of that. Yeah, that's like really fucked up. Given her history, I am dubious about it being a sincere threat against her and a guy just being a prick. But the real stinger in it all is that when she was 14 is when I told her and her mom my story about the way I lost my virginity. I guess in the end, I did make an impression on her after all. Wow. Just wow. I can't really feel anything other than the need to roll my eyes at it all now. Lily has truly talked herself into many of her issues, even if one of her so-called traumas is in reality mine. All I can see is that teenager that was trying so very desperately to be loved and accepted and feel like she belongs somewhere. It's what anyone really wants as a human being. But stunted as her emotional growth was, combined with her lack of self-reflection and awareness, has kept her in this perpetual teenage mindset. Lily is just a child that's gotten old, and a child has no desire to try and live better and change. What doesn't live can't change, and what doesn't change can't learn. The Queen of Foxes will ever be a lesson in living. Let me just say something here, prestigious finger, and I don't know if you're aware of this, but perhaps this is something you might relate to this particular behavior. See, recently I've started rereading a book that very much reminded me of a lot of the whole neckbeard, legbeard thing, all of this together. Some of my wonderful friends in chat right now may even know of it. I've been rereading A Confederacy of Dunces, and a lot of how you're describing the Queen of Foxes really sounds like Ignatius Riley. Someone who is very hyped up on their own things, is constantly convinced that there's something wrong with them, and yet, at the same time, they are the pinnacle of whatever it is they are trying to do. It is a very strange mindset, but I definitely kind of see an overlap. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I am wrong, but I kind of feel that it's really, really there. There's a lot in that book that goes back and forth with, Ignatius is so much smarter and better than all these horrible people around him. But his valve, it closed and made his life a horrible thing. Thus the reason why he can't, get a job or actually support himself. And on the few occasions where he is forced into employment, the only thing that really fucks him up is his own terrible behavior. It starts to sound a little familiar, if I'm being completely honest. The constant dramatic posting, there's some people who just never grow up, and you're right about that. That is definitely part of this. I have said in the past that the neckbeard, legbeard energy kind of thing isn't necessarily based on, wearing the fedora, calling someone lady, or being, into the whole cargo shorts with sandals and your fedora and your trench coat thing. It's very much personality. I have met people who look almost painfully like a stereotypical neckbeard, but are fantastic human beings. Like, not a trace of that kind of horrible personality that you associate with neckbeardery at all. Same thing with legbeards. There's a lot of stuff that you would consider legbeard-like attire or anything in that kind of realm, but personality is completely different. The main thing when it comes to the nice guy, the nice girl, the neckbeard, and the legbeard is the personality. Queen of Foxes absolutely has it. That is very much that personality. Constantly going on these weird drama-filled rants, and not just yelling into the ether because you need to yell, but expecting your Facebook friends for some reason to help you gain a specific type of employment that you've just never really even started working towards. You just demand that you should be a part of it. Yeah, that's weird. That's very weird. And that whole thing, I need to be in this industry, I'm the best, I should be this model, I should do this, I should do all of these things, and people just need to do it for me, they need to get this done for me, reminds me of a very specific thing. In that book that I referenced earlier, Confederacy of Dunces, there's an entire, more than one section, where Ignatius is apparently writing this huge book. It's his manifesto of sorts to lambast the current generation and show just how smart he is, and that the world as we know it is this perverse and horrible thing, and how his own understanding of weird medieval religious architecture is somehow better than literally everything else around him, even though he has no reason to actually believe that, and though he continually says that the world is rotting and falling apart and terrible because they don't embrace this thing that he believes, nobody is actually affected, everybody's fine. And he's writing all of this on all these different little memo pads, just pads of paper everywhere all over the floor of his room. They're not collected, they're not bound, they're not being put together in a book of some kind, they're not being edited in any way, and they're not being sent off to any kind of publisher, editor, reviewer, anybody. They're just writing, for the sake of writing, about how horrible everything else is. A journal about how terrible the world outside is, when you're doing absolutely nothing to better yourself. The only difference is that her writing was on Facebook, and not on a steno pad. Kinda all sounds the same if you ask me. But with that being said, this is where we're going to end this video. So thank you again, Prestigious Finger, for sending us this wonderful story. And thank you, dear listener, for being a part of this. You're the best. I mean that. No, seriously, don't look away. I actually mean that. Look at me. Okay, you can't look at me. It's like an audio thing. But whatever. You know what I mean. Point is, if you enjoyed this, please consider contributing to this show. We have a Ko-Fi, and we have a merch store. If you'd like to send in your own story, r/Moonhorse Stories, you can send it there. And multiple days, we do streams. But on Monday is the day that I stream reading The Things, which I am doing now. There are people here. You can't see them, but they are here. I'm not crazy. I just wanted a Pepsi. Just one Pepsi. And she wouldn't give it to me. Just one Pepsi. Alright, anyway, I love you all, and I'll see you in the next video. Goodbye, everybody.